Well, hello, friends and clients. It's Dr. Gari.senderoff with Cruise Planners, bringing you the absolute best value when it comes to cruises. And by the way, if you're already booked with Holland America, make sure you email me to transfer your cruise to me so I can get you a better value, even if you're already deposited. Okay, so today I'm going to review Holland America's Koningsdam. So stay tuned for the whole scoop. Despite many criticisms you'll hear from me in this video, and you know I tell it like it is, Koningsdam is indeed a beautiful ship built in 2016. The lobby and most of the public areas are indeed inspired by music, which is a bit ironic due to the lack of live music aboard. And this is the guest services area, or customer service if you will. And there was one thing great about this voyage, and that was that despite needing to visit guest services numerous times, the wait time was usually pretty minimal.
Now, what we have on stage, CP410, recommended opening price is $3,000. Let's start bidding off today.
The main dining room is one of the prettiest at sea for sure. This is where everyone aboard has a ticket to eat, and the food is average for a cruise ship of her class. Holland does have many other alternative dining options, which I actually do recommend and I'll cover in this video. The wait time to get in was usually pretty long, so I do recommend a fixed seating time if you do intend to stay here in the main dining room for most of your meals. The main show lounge, the World Stage, is a beautiful place to watch a show. The shows had excellent dancing, but did not offer a live orchestra, and they were a bit repetitive. I was surprised that a ship this musically themed did not offer main shows with more variety, such as those on Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. If you're looking for amazing entertainment, be prepared to be a bit underwhelmed in this aspect. BB King's, however, was excellent when there was live entertainment. Holland is well known to have the oldest cruise passengers at sea, but that doesn't mean that they're inactive. And sadly, there were many gaps in the schedule where there was absolutely nothing happening on board on their agenda. But when there was a live show at BB King's or their festive orange party, it was certainly worth attending. Billboard Onboard was designed for music-themed activities, but unfortunately most of the time they used it for the art auctions.
We're going to move on to the next one. The second best and it is titled For Those Who Gave All. This is a mixed media. A lot of people are familiar with his albums, the breaks, and all those fun little situations that we put there. But he's also part of big projects, not only the projects like...
And if you're looking to flirt a little bit with Lady Luck, the Koningsdam has a small but mighty casino with games, that you can play of all kinds, including slot machines, blackjack, poker, and of course, roulette. It's also okay to smoke in their casino, so if you are a smoker, this is a good place for you. If you don't like smoking, it's an open casino, so the smoke kind of goes into other places around the ship. And remember, this may change the smoking rules since this is at the time of this taping. So that may change within time. And also, this was taped during a day at port. That's why you don't see many people around. That's why it seems like it's not busy. So the casino was technically closed at the time of this taping. Now let's move over to the outdoor areas. So the main pool area in the middle of the ship has a retractable roof, which makes it nice for weather reasons. And while it's a very attractive place to get some sun and maybe even take a dip, you have to get here at about 6 a.m. in order to reserve a seat. Otherwise, the entire place is completely crowded. One of the nice things about this pool area is that if you have mobility issues, there is a carrier that will take you inside the pool. So that's one thing that's definitely a plus if you do have mobility issues. Also, if you do like to be around people, this is one of the areas that had constant crowds throughout the day and even into the early evening. So if you do like to be around people, certainly this is one of the places for you. They do serve hot dogs and hamburgers here, which were actually quite good. The only problem is there was always a line, and then it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for it to be brought out to you. They also had a New York deli with pizza joint, and this place was open till late at night. It was one deck above the main pool area, and not a lot of people knew about this, so it's a really good place to get some food quickly without having to wait more than 10 or 20 minutes.
Thank you.
And during meal times, I found that to be the best place to sit around by the pool area if you're so inclined to do so, sans sun. But it is a lot less crowded as everyone is out eating dinner. So that's another way to sit in the pool area and relax a little bit while the rest of the ship is being busy. And then, of course, there's the aft pool area. It's a very beautiful place to go out and get some sun, and it is not as crowded as the middle one because they don't have food service. So this is where people go out to smoke. Smoking is allowed on either side, and it's in the aft, so you get that beautiful view. But here you can get some sun, and it's a smaller pool area. You can avoid the huge amount of crowds that are in the middle. Still crowded, but not as bad, and almost always guaranteed that you're going to get at least a seat in the shade, or maybe if you're lucky, a lounger by the pool. Okay. If you move towards the top decks of the ship close to the funnel, you'll find a lot less crowded areas, a great place to get sun, play shuffleboard, and even engage in a basketball game. Before being owned by the Carnival Corporation, Holland America has been around for over 150 years, and they do like to remind you, look at these classic cool benches.
Yeah, let's go.
One of the things I think is really important for a ship is to have a wraparound promenade deck, and Holland America Line does have it. So you could walk around all the way through 360 degrees, burn your calories at night after dinner, or take a jog. This ship has that, and I think that's a humongous plus. And although you could cross through the front of the ship through a little opening that they have, you cannot go to the very bow of the ship, the king of the world area of the ship, but you can at least cross and go all the way around without turning back. Okay, now we're going to go more on the inside of the ship to continue this tour. The Dutch Cafe is a really cute little area that you can go to in order to order specialty coffee or have a pastry. It is definitely a really aesthetically beautiful place and reminds you of Holland America's past Dutch heritage. So a couple things I want to point out, and that is that they had a lot of little charming displays with Dutch heritage, and also everywhere you went throughout the ship, there were always fresh flowers, and that was definitely a nice touch. And although there's not a whole lot to do aboard as far as activities go, there's a lot of shopping to be done, and that's always fun. I personally suggest to purchase your logo items and everything, of course, on board. However, when it comes to larger purchases such as jewelry or secondhand goods like Rolex watches and high-end purses and that kind of thing, their value on board, in my opinion, is certainly not as good as what you would find on land or even on eBay. So just buyer beware. This is my opinion from what I've seen and compared. And when getting on and off the ship, it's pretty easy. Be sure to look at your itinerary to see what ports are docked and what ports are tendered. When you're tendered, you're going to spend a lot of time on those lifeboats going in and out of the port, which takes away your time in port. Okay, let's look at the dining. Club Orange is a really great dining room. It's a lot smaller, more personalized, and it's open to people who pay for Club Orange or if you're in a suite. I highly recommend having Club Orange, whether you're in a suite or you have paid for Club Orange. It's certainly well worth it. The food is better, and your attention to detail from the staff is going to be a whole lot better than it is in the main dining room. But don't worry, I'm also going to show you a little preview of the other specialty restaurants if you're curious, so stay tuned.
That looks so nice.
I have to another salad.
Okay, let's look at the main buffet area. This is going to be where most people go and have breakfast and also lunch and even sometimes dinner, which is the best of the three. This was always extremely crowded. One of the cool things that they have, though, is that you can wash your hands here. You just put your hands in, it soaps it, and it does everything, really. So it's a really cleanly thing to have, and I think that was really cool, and most ships can learn from this. Great thing to have. However, back to the buffet, let me just tell you that the food was just not very good, and also the times that it took to line up and get your food was just a lot longer than I've ever seen on any other mass market ship. It was definitely not what I expected from Holland America, both in quality and of course the time that it took to do that. One exception was the salad bar, which had fresh, good salad, and it was never a long wait, which is really interesting. Most of the people at the buffet wanted the junky kind of food, which was extremely poor quality. The buffet for breakfast is open until I believe 10:30, and the dining room and Club Orange is only open till 9 a.m. So if you don't wake up early on a vacation and make it to the dining room on time or Club Orange, you are forced to come to the buffet. And let me tell you something else that was horrible. Food service, in-room dining, when you called to make an in-room dining request, it took 2 to 3 hours. They were super short-staffed, and unfortunately, they said this was an ongoing problem, but not only did they take forever to bring the food, but they also got it wrong most of the time. So don't order in-room dining on Holland America. I don't mind paying for good food with specialty dining, but out of all the specialty dining aboard Koningsdam, Canaletto was by far the least impressive. Food was a little bit underwhelming, and it's just sectioned off as part of the buffet, so it was kind of in a weird place.
We'll see what happened to Tony Armando.
How are you going to find him in
Start thinking.
Yes, and one shrimp is the missing.
No.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's see which
On
one
a
you
positive note, let's look at the aft Vista suite that we had. Now, to call this a suite, I think is a bit of a stretch, but this is the aft Vista suite. We had this, and so did other people in our group, and we were very happy with this cabin. It had a really nice decor, decent bathroom, although a little bit small, very good bar area, mini bar. Of course, everything is at an additional cost, but most importantly, it had the most beautiful aft Vista view. And by the way, I'll have another video posted so you can check out the aft Vista cabin in more detail. It's worthy to note that the Vista suites do not come with Club Orange or concierge services. For that, you would need a Neptune suite or higher, so keep that in mind. So I would highly recommend, if you're looking to get all the bells and whistles, make sure you book into a Neptune suite. Sadly, each of the rooms in my group had a problem with the sheets being dirty. They were either not properly changed or whatever, but they all had dirt, hair, and this is really unusual for a cruise ship. On the 100 plus ships that I've ever been on, I've never had this happen. So to see this is very unusual. The head of housekeeping did acknowledge that their sheets were dirty and that they were understaffed, but in my opinion, that was no excuse. But let's move on to some of the other cool things like Rudi's, one of their specialty dining rooms, and this was definitely a really good restaurant. It is seafood inspired, but the presentation and the quality of food was certainly here. So if you're going to go to any specialty dining aboard Holland America, definitely visit Rudi's.
In the center with Parmigiano cheese, and then olives, Gouda cheese with the butter, caponata, anchovies, tapenade, and red bell pepper. This one, you keep it on the side. I have your Caesar salad. It's better you start.
Caesar salad is for him.
It's for him? You sure? Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, let's take a picture with these before we. Oh, I don't have my cabbage yet. No,
It's a concasse. It's like a tomato. They mash the tomato. Tomato.
No, that's okay.
Hot.
Something to survey. Here, madam.
Sorbet is my mom.
Okay, this is it for you.
The greenhouse spa was fantastic, and we actually had a couples massage, which we thoroughly enjoyed. However, they did double book us. We had to wait a couple of hours, and then they had to call us back. Without any apology, it was just not really ideal. So a lot of service issues. They have a really nice gym, and the nice thing is that all of their workout equipment, like the treadmills and all that kind of stuff, does actually look out into the ocean. Kudos to Holland America for having a good gym with equipment that looks out into the ocean. So a lot of the mass market ships have been repurposing this area to build new cabins. Thank you, Holland America, for not doing that. A big plus on your side. So they always had good music to get you in the mood to work out, and it was a high energy place to work out for sure, with very little people, much less passengers here than almost any other mass market cruise ship. It was quite enjoyable of a gym to go to. Holland America Line is in the same category of Princess, Virgin Voyages, and Celebrity. And out of those, I would absolutely, without a doubt, recommend Celebrity Cruises or Virgin Voyages, depending on the type of cruiser that you are. However, when you email me and we get in touch, I will help you decide what would fit best for you and what would be the best value to you. And look, on the bright side, we saw some cool humpback whales on a really nice shore excursion that Holland America offered. For the best value on your next Holland America or other cruise line destination, please email me at Gari.senderoff at cruiseplanners.com. And don't forget to visit my website at www.tourdoctors.com and sign up for my VIP email list. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, and also watch my other cool travel videos where I have expeditions to the polar regions, including the Galapagos and other really cool places. So please keep exploring with me, and thanks for watching.